Okay, so in this half, I'm going to walk you through three different ways in which you can use VR in your classroom. One is through an app called Google Expeditions. Excuse me, Google Expeditions, and the other two are VR apps where just are other third-party companies besides Google, maybe even in some cases Google, that have created apps that will allow for you to have a VR experience. And then finally YouTube, which has a lot of what they refer to as 360 videos, which you can't move through the video itself, but you can circle around and see things in 360. That's what they call it that. So those are the three apps. We'll start off by taking a look at Google Expeditions. I put a link here to a couple of things I thought would be helpful for each one of those apps. The first one is Google Cardboard App List, and what this does is it gives you all the different apps that are compatible with the Google Card virtual reality, and there probably are even more beyond that. I think if you just go into the various Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store, you'll see that these apps are available even if you just type in VR. But they have some that they have identified as working well with the Google Cardboard headsets. And this was put together by Jack Bosley, who was the one who created the core of what this presentation was before I kind of played around with it. And he had people submit, and you can too. I have another link for the actual form right here where you can fill out and add to this. And basically what they did is they gave you all the information you would need to get started using that particular app. They gave you a link for the Google Play and then also for the iTunes. And then if it wasn't applicable, it meant that it wasn't available on iPhones. So you might want to consider only the ones that are available there. The other thing that they have done is he put in a subject area and then the exact link or URL if adding, and then any kind of comments that might help you. So you might want to search by various things. You could sort the actual spreadsheet however you want to, and you can get a sense of what would be good for you given your unique situation. So that's available for you to take a look at. The other one is a list of Google Expeditions that are available out there, and last I looked there were over 200 of them. I think it was 234. So there's a lot of different kinds of Google Expeditions you can go on. Like I said, there's the one on Amazon, and this is in alphabetical order, and you can find all the different available expeditions that are out there. So expeditions are just within that one particular app that allows for teachers to take students on different places. Like, for instance, one of the things you can do is you can go to University of Notre Dame, and then they have looks like 9 different scenes that you can go to, and it takes you to different parts on the campus, and students will have the opportunity to look around there. And that's not just university visits, but I just happened to be on U, so a lot of those universities came up. So, for instance, Western Cape, South Africa. It's a little easier, I think, in some ways to find the different expeditions here than it is for you to actually get it through the app. So that's why I think someone created this expeditions spreadsheet. Then virtual reality videos. There's a playlist that you can take a look at, and basically this is their virtual reality tab, meaning that they have kind of grouped all those videos together. You could even watch Donald Trump's inauguration live in 360. That was actually available live at the time, but now is available having been recorded. And there are all kinds of things in here that you might find useful. You'll have to search around and see what you think would be good. Virtual Reality Home will kind of walk you through different categories as well. So it depends on what you're looking for. And then this last link takes you to a website that will determine whether or not the phone that you're using is compatible with Google Cardboard, or actually with VR generally, not with Google Cardboard. So you find the maker of your phone, and then from there, you can drill down and see which one you have and determine whether or not your phone is compatible. So that's a good tool for you to use. I'm going to show you 2 different videos that will walk you through what Google Expeditions look like, because now we're going to shift and talk about what that is. This one comes from CBS and does a nice job of explaining basically how Google Expeditions was when it first got started.
This is such a cool story. Google is teaming up with hundreds of schools to take students around the world from inside their classrooms. This program is called Expeditions, and it uses virtual reality. It actually can teleport students to far-flung places often seen in their textbooks. Vanita Nair is at a New York City school using this technology. Vanita, good morning.
Good morning. We're at Lab Middle School in Lower Manhattan, where the kids are doing in just a few moments. This is about one of 100 schools across the globe using this new virtual technology. We spoke with Google and they told us they came up with this idea after hearing from teachers who wanted to bring abstract concepts to life.
Hey, there's a scuba diver.
Google's new program is taking kids on field trips where no bus has ever gone.
Oh, I see pufferfish.
This sixth grade science class plunged deep into Australia's Coral Sea, getting 360-degree views of the Great Barrier Reef.
I see the scuba diver.
The classroom scuba divers crisscross the planet to Ecuador's Galapagos Islands, getting an up-close look at sea lions far below the surface of the ocean.
It's actually pretty big. I mean, it's not too small. It's like a robin fish. I don't see it.
The students paused to take notes before losing themselves in the imagery again.
Okay, write down your observations at this point.
Their teacher, Allison Davis, guided the tour from her tablet, stopping periodically to discuss what they were seeing.
What tells us that the coral is thriving? Dia?
Well, they're really colorful. They're not like in the video we watched for homework. They're not like bleached or anything.
They point things out that I wouldn't even think to be looking at.
Davis says it's a learning experience for both the student and the teacher, and believes her students are gaining a better understanding of her lessons.
They're making connections to things that they're hearing on the news and going on in the world.
Those 360-degree views are created by stitching together photographs from Google's Street View. 16 GoPro cameras are also used to make the trip feel lifelike. You put on the glasses. What is it like?
Well, I think it's really cool because it feels like you're there.
The panoramas themselves don't change. It's how the teacher applies it.
Google Program Director Jennifer Holland, a former educator herself, says teachers can tailor the voyages to their curriculum.
We had a math teacher that actually created an expedition on the Great Wall of China. And that same expedition was used by a 10th grade Chinese language teacher to teach vocab.
The kit includes a smartphone, cardboard viewers, a tablet for the teacher, and a router that allows expeditions to run offline if necessary. Google says they'll provide the kits free of cost for the first year, but will eventually charge schools. Can you give us an idea of a price point? Would it be the cost of a phone? Would it be the cost of a group of phones?
I get that question all the time. So, to be honest, right now within the Expeditions Pioneer program, we're just trying to understand how the existing technology can work. We want to make it as accessible as possible.
See the clouds.
There's a question around cost and really thinking about the maintenance of the technology long term.
New York Lab's middle school principal, Megan Adams, says for cash-strapped schools, investing in the program may be hard, but she says it's an important learning tool.
Some kids might see this technology and still prefer a textbook, but some kids will see this technology who don't normally engage in reading or discussion and all of a sudden understand the concepts.
Now, it's not just virtual voyages. Google tells us in the near future they would love to expand into career options. What does that mean? Well, it means in the near future you could shadow a professional like a physician or a lawyer or, Gail, maybe even a news anchor.
I like it. I think the whole thing is genius. And so smart of Google to say, listen, we'll let you have it for a year and then charge. Yep. Because once you look into it, you want it.
You're sold.
Whether you're 3 to 93, you're thinking, I want one of these.
It's a form of...
Okay, so the other video is one that I created using something called Adobe Spark. And if you want to learn more about that, you can. I can work with you one-on-one, and we might even develop some workshops on that. But the next piece is actually from Crystal Burnett's classroom, and I used the VR headsets in her classroom just as an early test of how the whole system would work. So the beauty of that is that I was really able to use it and kind of incorporate it into her class, which was doing a lesson on the respiratory system. And at that time, I did not have enough for the whole class. So what we did is we actually split up the class. So behind that wall that you see there were students that were working on something else while she took half of her class and had them do virtual reality. It was good for 15 minutes of them working with the actual app, and the kids actually really loved it. I got a very nice email from Ms. Burnett, and it went really well. I thought that it was as well as it could be expected, especially since it was the first time that I had students using it in a real classroom setting, and I think I'm real excited about it. You can see that there are a lot of students have different headsets, so those are the ones that I currently have available. The ones that will actually eventually be getting through this grant are these right here. In the next, I'm going to show you how to walk your class through, how you get your class onto Google Expeditions. I'll do that in the next video.